Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Brutal TV. Ladies, delusion can't beat biology. Stop challenging men. Please extra up them below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Ever heard the line, equal rights, equal fights? The quest for equality has pushed so many women to challenge men physically.
So stupid.
And while some challenges have ended okay, some have not ended so well. Today, we check out some awesome moments when guys dropped the gentleman tag and fought back. Number 1, the mixed gender cage match. At the start of this match, it seemed like the guy's plan was to go easy on her. But that changed too quickly after the kicks were exchanged. It was the kick that unlocked something, as he immediately began to throw blows until he eventually had her pinned to the cage.
He was like, "You dare try to kick me?"
Both fighters continue to struggle in the cage and make good use of their knees. Into the second round, the lady starts off strong, but it doesn't take much time before a kick and jab to the head sends her to her knees. And a strike on her face, and she's down to the ground. Now you would think the young man would end it at that, but he doesn't stop.
Hell no.
While on the ground, the battering begins. She makes an effort to resist him, but unfortunately, he doesn't flee as he gets right back pounding all over her till the referee calls it off. Number 2, Muay Thai kickboxing, man versus woman. The lady in red tries to make use of her leg in this match, but almost too quickly,
is a little taller.
The young man goes in and sweeps her off her feet. Clearly, the guy is dominating this match as all his strikes are hitting accordingly. The lady, on the other hand, keeps her defense wide open as both her hands are in the air. And as you would expect, the young man took full advantage and threw powerful strikes at her face. Both fighters go on to tackle each other as he tries to trap her in a headlock.
That one looked a little awkward.
Interestingly, the lady begins to bring the heat on and goes in with her knees. But once again, he overpowers her. Those punches
It's
hurt
just
so
pure
bad
strength.
it knocked her out cold. And of course, the young man was announced the winner. Number 3, man versus woman boxing Thai fight. The lady in the blue trunk came into this ring with so much faith in her legs.
She is so scrawny. Holy cow. Like, how much muscle mass does she even really have to fight against a man? This guy looks ripped.
And forgot that other things mattered if she was going to win this fight. And as you would expect, her legs neither kept her opponent away nor did it lead her to victory. She probably was never taught anything on defense, and this guy can tell. And so he takes advantage of that and attacks with sharp strikes. As time goes on, his jabs and strikes only get quicker, stronger, and more powerful. He continues to fight while she gets no room for a breather.
Yeah, she is
Pressed
tired.
up against the ropes like that, you can almost tell that she's fighting for her life at this point. Thankfully, the referee steps in and calls the match off. Considering the amount of hits that went to her head, the referee had to be sure she wasn't concussed.
Hey, give it to her that she's not wearing headgear at least.
Number 4, wrestling challenge. This kind of energy at the start of the fight from the lady is impressive, but for how long could she hold on to it without getting tired out? In the space of seconds after tackling each other, he has both her head and leg locked in on the ground. Of course, we can agree that she's putting up a good fight, but this young man is on a roll. And now, this time, both her legs are trapped in a leg lock until he mercifully releases her. Yes, mercifully, because there honestly would have been no escape if he hadn't let go.
Yep.
She's definitely giving this guy a tough time. We can give her that one. But all he is
Like, even that beginning part was just like her rubbing her boobs in his head.
focused on is how
The
to get her to
awkwardness
the
of
ground
men
and
versus women.
initiate an arm lock. And he did just that. For the first round, the guy starts down. And although he is putting in a lot of work, he still manages to get off the ground and slam her down. The guy charges into her, lifts her off the ground, and slams her to the ground for a second time.
Protected her too.
Number 5, beat beach wrestling. She starts off strong, but he overpowers and sends her to the dust. Once she's back on her feet, they go again. But this time, it takes a little more time before he's able to lock her arm in and bend her backward till he has her on the floor. The referee calls
Fold
it
them
off,
backwards,
and
boys.
the guy is announced the winner. Number 6, ended in tears.
Oh.
This young boy is putting up a good offense, and he isn't stopping. Once he is able to get her down to the ground, he immediately goes after
Nice.
her leg. Fortunately for the young girl, she is able to counter the attack on her leg, but not for too long. The little boy is now on top and proceeds to put all the pressure he can on her throat. And to make sure she doesn't find a way out, he has her arm pinned to the ground till she taps out in tears. Number 7, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, red belt versus blue belt. This fight starts off with the lady in the blue belt dominating. She has her opponent's head locked in as she pulls him to the ground. But it doesn't take too long before he is able to find his way out and use her own hands to trap her in a chokehold.
Stop choking yourself. Stop choking yourself.
The tackling continues, and a wrong turn by this lady puts her in another chokehold. Thankfully, she is able to free herself, but he still has his legs wrapped around her waist till they are separated and brought back to the center of the ring. They are back in that same position, and neither of them is ready to let go. They switch sides, and the guy takes the lead, gets her arm where he wants it, and instantly delivers an arm lock till she taps out. Number 8, the Midwest Beach Wrestling Nationals. This one happens really quickly, so if you aren't paying attention,
I remember
you just
this one.
might miss it.
The kid does an amazing
Both fighters
move.
wrestle for a few seconds. He gets a hold of her neck, pulls her down slightly, and delivers one of the most insane twists ever.
That's how I get
sending
women
her
in
to
bed,
the
guys.
dust. He didn't even need to
The
do
move like
anything
that.
more as the referee immediately announced him as the winner. Number 9, man versus woman wrestling.
The wrestling is the most awkward sport one, where it's all grappling, and you're grabbing awkward areas, feeling on awkward areas. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it if it was a hot chick, but it's definitely unsavory for people to be watching.
This guy was able to get her to the ground with her legs, but that wasn't his focus. Once he got a hold of her left arm, it was all over for her.
Ooh.
He locked that one arm and continued fighting for the second, regardless of how she tried to counter it. He finally got the second and had her flipped inside out before they called it a day. Number 10, No Mercy. It is only a few seconds in, and this guy is out for blood. The referee even has to make sure she is ready to go on with the first in just the first few seconds. She claims to be fine and goes ahead to continue the fight. And once again, it turns into a battering session from the guy. The only thing she is able to do is attempt a few kicks, which, of course, do not connect, and the guy goes on to serve strong punches.
He was not fucking around.
To call it off. Was this a good fight or a beat up? Let us know what you think in the comments. Number 11, Connie Burns versus Luke Munsterman. All Luke needed to do was to get her to the ground and get a hold of her leg. For a second there, it seemed like Connie was dominating this fight.
He's got it.
Notice how he takes over, placing her in a chokehold.
Like, even in this position, guys. Doesn't this remind you of a porno right here?
Until the whistle is blown. In the second, the girl starts on the ground. She puts off a fight, but they quickly switch sides as he takes the lead and traps her in a leg lock. Connie continues to fight for her freedom, but Luke doesn't seem to budge until the whistle is blown. For the third round, Connie is on the ground again, and Luke is fighting for a nasty arm lock.
She's tired.
He flips her inside out, and as they continue to go back and forth, Luke proceeds to go for a leg lock at the same time. This young man is insane.
He is.
At this point, Connie seems to have given up
Jeez, this girl's body been twisting and turning like crazy. It was just like me in bed or something.
fighting for her freedom as she stays put till the whistle is blown. Damn! If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button.
Shoutouts to Brutal TV. Hell, maybe more women should fight so they can be contortionists like that. I need one that's more flexible. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.